For more than 100 years, New York City children have come to the Children's Village, which houses a non-secure detention facility in Dobbs Ferry, about a half hour north of the city. This 180-acre facility in Westchester County is run by the Children's Village, one of about a dozen close-to-home providers. This 5-year-old juvenile justice initiative places youth in facilities close to their local communities rather than in upstate facilities. About 100 such youth live in 2-story cottages on this wooded campus after committing offenses such as assault, theft, and truancy.
We have always served kids who are poor and kids who are vilified by community, that are seen as either incapable of assimilation or as not important or as valued.
The belief that rehabilitation rather than punishment is the best way to deal with juvenile offenders has always been deeply held here. But it's also becoming official state policy with Raise the Age legislation, which will move teens under 18 out of the adult prison system starting in October 2018. One of those cottages is just ahead of you across the road. Behind you, just beyond the right field line, is where they go to school, alongside a recreation facility with a heated swimming pool, gym, and even a cafe where some of them get part-time work. The goal is to foster an environment that's an attractive contrast to what these teens have experienced before, says Jeremy Kohobin.
This campus is not a destination. It's not a home. It's not a family. It's more like an emergency room than anything else. Being a teenager or being even an older teen is not easy when you're dealing with issues of race, poverty, disenfranchisement, and it's very easy for those emotions to take over sometimes.
A spirit of collaboration is what gets a teen ahead in this program. Good behavior and maturity can earn a placement in a coveted single room like the one you see. Trustworthiness can also be rewarded in more subtle ways, like allowing a team to participate in weekly house cooking nights that help them develop the relationships with staff members while also learning some job skills.
What we often say here is one appropriate adult relationship is a game changer. In fact, I have a young person now that works at a restaurant down the hill of this campus, and he once told me that his first experience of knowing that he was good at something happened because a staff member took the time to teach him how to cook and then came back and said, "You're really good at this."
Democratic decision-making also pushes the teens to take on more responsibility. Is sleeping in on the weekend the prudent thing to choose, especially in the summer?
It could be, unless we have a trip planned and all of you want to go to a water park and we want to get there before 2 o'clock in the afternoon so that you can have a couple hours at the park. That's a good opportunity for a negotiated decision to say what's more important.
But sometimes things can go wrong. To keep the kids out of trouble, there's a rigid daily routine for the dozen or so teenage boys who live inside a cottage like this. Little is left to chance, down to the details in front of you. The chairs are heavy to prevent them from being thrown, for example, and inspirational quotes adorn the walls like you'll see in both the bedroom and in the hallway. Staff members keep watch at night at stations in the hallway, and the teens only get to go where the staff allows them throughout the day. Even when things go wrong, the focus has to be on making the teen figure out the consequences of their decision-making, according to Kohobin.
It's a way of communicating. And we spend a lot of time trying to understand, what was that all about? How did you go from having breakfast and then walking upstairs and getting into a fight?
Order must be maintained, he says, but too much emphasis on control could result in the Children's Village becoming the very thing it is supposed to replace, as Raise the Age and Close to Home move ahead.
This is where that whole issue of balance comes in, right? You can look at safety so carefully that everything is institutional, that nothing is movable, that nothing is breakable, that nothing is a safety risk. And then you end up with a prison where everything is tightly controlled and tightly managed. So we try to take acceptable risk because we want to create an environment that reflects a home and a family, knowing full well that we are neither a home nor a family.